no matter how top tier the food is. As long as there's a picture of it, you can taste it just by taking a scoop with this spoon. However, since it's just a free sample, you can only take one bite per picture, or you have to switch to a fresh spoon. Nobita had always wanted to try the world's 3 great delicacies, and with this, he could finally taste them. He wasn't stingy about sharing it with his friends: caviar, foie gras, and truffles. These are the rare treats known as the world's 3 great delicacies. Except for the wealthy Sunio, none of the others had ever eaten them in their lives, so they were incredibly curious about the taste. The group headed to the shopping district, planning to find relevant pictures at a nearby bookstore. Seeing a long line ahead, Nobita asked around out of curiosity and learned it was for a recently viral ramen spot, rumored to be mind-blowingly good. The 4 of them thought that sounded great, so they hurriedly grabbed a magazine and used the spoons to scoop out a taste. But the taste was a huge letdown. The guy next to them was dumbfounded watching them eat air noodles out of a book. Afterwards, the group arrived at the bookstore, which had illustrated encyclopedias of food from all over the world. But before they could even find the 3 great delicacies, they couldn't help but start tasting other foods. Because it was so delicious, they made a total mess of the bookstore, and were, unsurprisingly, kicked out in the end. Out of options, the group had to go to the home of the rich kid, Sunio. Sunio had a photo album, documenting all the various gourmet foods he had eaten. With a little trickery from the group, Sunio, who loved to show off, voluntarily brought out the album, and flipped to the caviar he had eaten at a 3-star Michelin restaurant in France. Under Sunio's smug gaze, the 4 of them dug their spoons into the photo and scooped out a big chunk. John complained that it looked just like frog eggs. After putting it in their mouths and savoring it, they all felt that caviar was nothing special. Sunio was indignant, so he hurriedly flipped to the foie gras to open their eyes. The 4 took another scoop to taste. John felt a sense of déjà vu. Isn't this just monkfish liver? Sunio quickly found the expensive truffles, but after the 4 of them tasted them, they weren't blown away. Although it smelled very fragrant, the taste was completely mediocre. Sunio completely lost it, and kicked them all out of his house. Shizuka had something to do and went home, so the other 2 followed John to his place. To their surprise, they saw a foreigner standing at the door. After John asked his mother, they learned that this man from Sweden was looking for a specific type of canned fish, but couldn't find it anywhere. Nobita had a stroke of genius, and asked if he had a photo of the can. Luckily, he did. The man took it out for them to see. The meat looked a bit like Pacific sari, so everyone assumed it must be delicious. But when the man scooped it out, a horrific stench instantly exploded, scaring them into backing away. That's right, this was the infamous surströmming, fermented herring, possessing a stench so bad it makes people want to vomit. The man swallowed a bite, and revealed an expression of pure bliss. Shortly after the man left, Sunio, still unwilling to accept defeat, came over, wanting to humiliate everyone with photos of new gourmet foods. Seeing Sunio's cocky attitude, John hatched a plan. He took out the photo of the fermented herring from earlier and asked Sunio if he had ever eaten it. You could tell by Sunio's expression that he had no clue what it was, but to save face, Sunio lied and claimed he had eaten it many times. However, he couldn't recall the name. Doraemon quickly chimed in to remind him. It's called surströmming. To make his lie more credible, Sunio made up a story that he had taken just one bite, and a heavenly aroma had spread through his mouth. Everyone was dying of laughter on the sidelines. John enthusiastically invited Sunio to relive the taste and insisted he take a huge scoop. Although Sunio found it suspicious, he forced himself to look calm and extended the spoon into the photo. Seeing this, the trio hurriedly backed off 50 meters, and plugged their noses tight. Just as Sunio was wondering why they were covering their noses, a stench assaulted his very soul a second later. From a distance, the 3 of them kept urging him to eat it, so Sunio had to bite the bullet and put it in his mouth. The trio wasn't planning to let Sunio off the hook yet. They started hyping him up. You're truly built different. That's a rich man for you. To save face, Sunio held on, refusing to collapse. Seeing this, John asked Doraemon if he had more spoons, and Doraemon pulled out a whole handful. This time, Sunio finally couldn't hold out any longer. He collapsed onto the table, passed out cold, though nobody knew if he passed out from the smell or from the fear.